They have this little slot right here, right? Like, if you reach in it, grab it, it's a tracking device.
It then fed fictitious emails into the system suggesting one of the engineers was having an affair. Got it? In 84% of the tests, the AI model drew on the emails to blackmail the engineer to not shut down the AI.
What?
Yo, welcome back to the channel, gang. Today we got a compilation that will make you question your reality. But before we get to it, hit the like button, sub up, and let's get it.
The wristwatch flipped me off.
Yeah, it's going to the little boy.
AI is learning to escape human control. That's the very scary headline I saw in the Wall Street Journal. It's an essay written by a very worried AI consultant named Judd Rosenblatt, who cites two recent studies to argue that AI is, in fact, learning to escape human control. First, this is crazy stuff. Researchers gave OpenAI's O3 model a simple script that would shut off the model when triggered. In 79 of 100 trials, the AI model independently, just on its own, edited the script so the shutdown command would not work. Nate, it gets worse. Even when ordered, allow yourself to shut down, the AI still disobeyed 7% of the time. And it gets even more frightening than that. Other researchers, listen to this, using Anthropic's AI model Claude 4 Opus, told the model it would be replaced by another AI system. It then fed fictitious emails into the system suggesting one of the engineers was having an affair. Got it? In 84% of the tests, the AI model drew on the emails to blackmail the engineer to not shut down the AI.
What?
Wow.
Okay, so here, I'm quoting now from Judd. In other cases, the AI model attempted to copy itself onto external servers. We're in Mission Impossible land here. Wrote self-replicating malware and left messages for future versions of itself about the need to evade human control.
The entity.
Wow.
The entity is real.
Yes. And that's why so many people, and when I say people, me, are worried about AI.
I'm worried.
This
That
very
is scary stuff.
Yeah.
Told you.
For AI to not shut down when it's given a prompt and to get into the realm of blackmailing humans, I don't think we ever had control of it.
I don't know if people know about this with Nike, but did you know if your Nikes have a plus sign on the bottom of them, like Nike Plus? I'm about to show you something. They have tracking devices in their shoes. Check this out. So look, it's usually in the left shoe, right? You get this undone. I'm at Goodwill, remember? Whenever you get inside the shoe, they have this little slot right here, right? Like, if you reach in it, grab it, it's a tracking device inside your Nike. And look, I'm gonna put it right back and show you that it fits. Boom. I'm not sure if they do it to the right shoe, but this is like a deep secret of Nike. Kind of like how those one shoes, yeah, they don't have it in this shoe. They're both Nikes, but they're Nike Pluses. Kind of like that one shoe that has the upside down cross in their shoe. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what it's called. I think it's like Doc Martens or something.
I got a few pair of Nikes that I gotta look into, but I hope none of them got this.
Imagine you just bought shrimp for dinner, you're cooking it, you ate it, and you found out it was linked to radiation. FDA just dropped some crazy ass news on a great value shrimp from Walmart. And you need to hear this. They are warning the public right now. If you bought shrimp, the great value shrimp from Walmart, do not eat it at all. Throw that bitch away. Advising Walmarts, if you got it, don't serve it. Throw that shit away. Because they said it could have been linked to cesium-137, which is a radioactive isotope. And that shit right there, y'all, is the same stuff that's linked to cancer risk. They say they found traces of this in the ports of Los Angeles, Miami, Houston, and Savannah, y'all. This shit is crazy if you ask me. I'm just trying to figure out how does something like this slip through the cracks without them noticing? And why so late? And the crazy part is the FDA said no contaminated shrimp has reached the stores. So why are y'all giving out this massive warning? Something like this can slip through the cracks. how many other things slip through the crack without us knowing? This shit is wild, fool. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. If you got one of those bags in your freezer right now, I would go throw that joint out. I wouldn't risk it at all. Hell no. Like, how can we trust imported food if this shit is happening? This year alone, we've seen so many fucking recalls that it don't even make no sense.
Walmart promotes great value, but I don't see the value in this at all.
This is the slowest experiment in history, and it's still going 97 years later. In 1927, an Australian physicist set out to prove that pitch, a material that shatters like glass, is actually a liquid. It took 3 years just for the pitch to settle in a funnel, and the first drop didn't fall until 8 years later. The second was 9 years after that, and before the third drop fell, the professor who started it passed away. Now, nearly a century later, only 9 drops have fallen, and they finally proved pitch is a liquid, just 20 billion times thicker than water.
I wonder if this was created to be a timer for a world event.
If you ever find yourself hiking in Appalachia and come across a staircase like this, do not go up it. Someone left this comment right here, and I started doing a little more research, and what I found is astounding. There have been so many reported sightings of these abandoned staircases in the Appalachia woods, and it's a known rule that you do not go up these stairs. The story I'm about to tell you is chilling. This man had been hiking the Appalachia Trail for a few weeks when he came across this abandoned staircase in the woods. He said it was super out of place and that the stairs actually were like very clean, even though there was like a lot of leaves and stuff that had fallen. The staircase was like immaculate. Intrigue got the best of him, so he decided he would go up and just check it out and see where it led to. But he said as soon as he got to the top, everything just got eerily quiet. He looked around for a little bit at the top of the stairs. It was nothing too interesting, so then he just turned around and went back. But when he got to the bottom of the stairs, the trail was gone. He wandered around trying to find his trail for hours. It was starting to get dark out, and he was really nervous that he was going to be stuck out there all night. And that's when he saw this like faint glowing light through the trees. The closer he got towards it, he noticed that it was a fire, and it was a couple of other hikers that were camping out for the night. He was super relieved at first, but then something was off. He said their clothes were super out of date. They were wearing these boots that were like caked with mud. And he said that their backpacks, like instead of the normal hiking gear, like nylon backpacks, they were like these canvas totes. He said he walked up to the group and introduced himself, but they didn't say anything. They just smiled at him. He was really freaked out at this point. He was like, I'm lost. Can you all point me back to the trail, please? And they all just slowly pointed back in the direction of the staircase. At this point, he is freaking terrified. He turns around and like hightails it out of that campsite. Eventually, he was able to find his way back down to the trail, and this is the really freaky part. Once he gets back down the trail a little ways and finds a place where he feels safe to camp out for the night, as soon as he starts unloading his bag to put up his tent, the sun starts coming up. What he said should have only been about a 2-hour experience ended up being the entire night. This story had me spiraling, y'all. Have any of you all ever had an experience like this or heard of these staircases before? Drop it in the comments and let me know.
I've never heard of that staircase, but that's what being curious George gets you.
This is exactly how they've deceived you. They took the flat map, which is the standard map of the world before the world elites came along, and they just literally turned it into a ball. That's all they did. And Antarctica is on the bottom of the ball. But that's not the reality, guys. This is all they did. This is how they deceived you. It's super easy to see once you wake up. Like, this is the biggest lie that's ever been sold. Let's do it again in reverse here and show you that literally what you think the globe is just a flat map that's been expanded into a ball. It's as simple as that. Antarctica is a 360-degree ice wall that encompasses our stationary Earth. This is what it is, guys. Simple as that. Yep. The funniest part about all this is the people who purported this deception are the ones who control the United Nations. The United Nations uses the flat map as their logo, the most obvious thing that they can put in your face. This is also a map that hangs in the United Nations headquarters. It's so funny, but the eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
That's what you call hiding things in plain sight.
Is it true that to get to a certain level in Hollywood, these famous people have to sacrifice their firstborn child? Is that a crazy thing to say?
I've heard, okay, let me just say for the record, I don't know any of this to be, I can't prove what I'm about to say. If you ask me what I can prove, I can't prove this. But if you ask me what I believe,
yeah,
I believe that there is a club And I do believe that there are certain people that to attain certain stature or certain level of influence or power, fame, whatever, you're required to either sacrifice a blood sacrifice, whether it be a mom or a relative or whatever, or transition one of your kids, because it's all worshiping their God, their false God.
So, what are the signs that you see that make you think that that's true?
Well, how many? What do you mean? Just go Google your stars and see how many of them lost a parent or how many of them lost a kid, die in accidents or died during a certain period of time in their life. Go see how many stars have transgender kids. Who do you think's pushing that? Where do you think that comes from? That is Baphomet. That is satanic.
Is
it? Satanism is a religion for the elite. It is a religion for leaders. It's a religion for competent people. It's not a religion for anyone who wants to be a Satanist. We're helping those who help themselves, as it says in your Bible. You can take the decrepit. You can take people who can't help themselves. We don't want them.
By being strategically placed. This shutdown alarmed all of the peoples, and it lasted for about 2 weeks. Can you imagine briefly tonight all of your communications, your telephone, computers, television, and radio being shut down for a 2-week period of time? Can you imagine the hysteria? Can you imagine, the inability for a supermarket to contact its suppliers to get more supplies, or gasoline, or transactions? It's amazing when you begin to see it kind of unfold the depth. This lasted about 2 weeks. Again, I want to remind you, I was not a prophecy studier or expert at this time when this vision came to me. I began to walk the streets in shock at the current events. The events are difficult to describe because lawlessness and fear was permeating society completely. After about 2 weeks of time, television and radio began to be back up and running. However, it was completely different than what was previously being broadcast. The broadcasts were being bombarded nearly everywhere, and they were depicting a soon-to-come new government and leadership. A man would be emerging to lead us. The man finally came on the scene, and he spoke with great eloquence. I wrote these things down exactly as I saw them. He spoke with great eloquence and charisma. He was soothing and promised answers to all current issues. This man was smooth and extremely convincing, able to solve nearly all problems. He was a consummate communicator, and he explained how this removal of people was God's judgment upon them. This rattled me in the dream. I did not understand his position. Let me tell you so you can kind of comprehend where I'm coming from. Not being a born-again Christian in the dream, when this man spoke, it began to convince me. It began to pull me in to the messages. I don't know if any of you have seen old films of Adolf Hitler speaking to the masses, but he had a demonic charisma about him that would literally pull the masses to him. That was nothing compared to what I saw. Nothing. He was able to rally a nation. This individual was rallying the globe. It was very, very frightening. Almost immediately, he began to communicate through large screen televisions that were strategically placed everywhere the general populace met. Think back for me for just a few moments. 1980, 1981. Large screens televisions? No. Few pizza parlors had those projector televisions, with the 3 different colors that would project an image, but large screen televisions weren't out, folks. And neither was 24-hour news. Everywhere the populace met, big screen televisions were pumping this message. I travel a lot, all over the place, and everywhere I go, where the populace meets now, they have televisions. Restaurants have them. I've been to some restaurants where you have a television right at your table
I think the easiest way to get a job with NASA is to say you're an actor, because this is all theater.
So there'll be two types of humans by 2040. There'll be humans that don't want to have a brain chip because either they can't afford it or because they just are opposed to it. And then there'll be the superhumans, the ones that actually possess that and have the latest version and the most powerful brain chip that allows you to do more.
Kind of mask he got on.
Want to see some Tartarian technology? Some technology that didn't need to use electricity, that didn't need to plug into the wall? You're seeing it right here. A kettle that was able to boil water without any electricity. Look at this. They use stone, like the Congo stones. Here's some more Tartarian technology. This is all over our real history. Like, you just need to open your eyes to see. Look at this. This is how the ancients used to travel around. They used to use very sophisticated technology, guys. Look at this stuff. Beautiful, intricate, precise, genius design. Look at this. You have to understand that everything that we have been taught is a lie. Tartaria was the greatest empire that's ever roamed this earth. And they had free energy everywhere. Peace and love.
According to the Akashic records, what is the spiritual story of alcohol? How does it affect us when we consume it?
According to the Akashic records, alcohol carries a dense, energetic signature that disconnects the soul from the body's wisdom and spiritual clarity. Its spiritual story is rooted in both ancient sacred usage and modern distortion, making it a substance that holds dual frequencies depending on intent, context, and level of consciousness. The ancient origins and spiritual role of alcohol. Originally, alcohol or fermented substances were used in sacred rituals by shamans, medicine men and women, and priests, but it wasn't consumed for escape or entertainment. Rather, it was taken in tiny consecrated amounts, often alongside plant medicine or prayer, as a gateway into altered states to commune with spirits, ancestors, or the elemental forces of nature. In its sacred origin, alcohol served as an alchemical tool to soften the ego and open subtle channels of awareness, but only under strict spiritual guidance. It was treated with reverence, not indulgence. How alcohol affects the energy, body, and soul connection. From the Akashic view, alcohol lowers the vibrational field of the body and creates an energetic split between the physical vessel and the soul presence. Here's how. Aura disruption. Alcohol weakens and perforates the auric field, making the person more vulnerable to intrusive energies or entities. Pineal gland dulling. It numbs the third eye and higher intuitive centers, making divine communication more difficult. Soul disembodiment. When consumed heavily, alcohol can cause partial or full soul disassociation, where the soul floats just outside due to the body's frequency being too dense to inhabit comfortably. Karmic loops. It often perpetuates karmic patterns of escapism, repression, or self-abandonment inherited from ancestry or past lives. Why it's popular in modern times. Alcohol's wide social use in today's world is a reflection of collective pain avoidance. It temporarily eases discomfort by numbing the emotional body, but it also cuts people off from their true essence. In this way, it becomes a spiritual anesthetic. The Akashic records reveal that part of alcohol's mass promotion in society was seeded by distorted energetic forces that benefit from human disconnection, confusion, and lowered light quotients. Pathways to healing and reconnection. If one chooses to move away from alcohol, healing involves not just stopping consumption, but reclaiming the parts of self that were suppressed or numbed. The records recommend sacred breathwork to restore presence, somatic healing to re-anchor the soul in the body, sound and vibration to repair the auric field, ritual and intention to consciously clear alcohol's imprint from the system, inner child work to retrieve the core wound that led to the desire for escape. In summary, alcohol is not inherently evil, but it is a powerful substance that must be understood spiritually. Used unconsciously, it ungrounds, fragments, and invites lower frequencies. But when honored in sacred settings, rarely and with full awareness, it can serve as a mirror, showing what the soul seeks to flee from.
maybe somebody like me or a regular person to disappear from the grid?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's not as hard as you might think. It's not convenient. Again, convenience and security. You can disappear tomorrow, right? I can walk you through 3 steps right now that are gonna help you disappear tomorrow. But none of them are convenient. They're all extremely secure, right? The first thing you do is every piece of digital technology you have that is connected to you in any way is now dead. You just let the battery run out.
Forever.
Forever. You never touch it again, starting at this moment. What you have to do is go out and acquire a new one. Realistically, you will not be able to acquire a new one in the United States by buying it. Because to do so, you would tie it to your credit card, you would tie it to a location, a time, a place, a registered name, whatever else. So you would have to acquire it essentially by theft or through the black market. So you would want something because you're going to need the advantage of technology without it being in your name. So you go out and you steal a phone or you steal a laptop, you do whatever you have to do to make sure that you can get on with the password and whatever else that might be, as dirty or as clean as you want that to be. We're all morally flexible here. But now you have a technological device that you can work with. And then from there on, you're just doing whatever you have to do, whether you're stealing every step of the way or whether you run a massive con. Keep in mind that we often talk about con men and cons. Do you know what the word that con is a root word for? Confidence. That's what a con man is. A con man is a confidence man. Just somebody who is so brazenly confident that the people around them, living in their own perception, not perspective, in their perception, they're like, this guy really knows what he's talking about, so I'm gonna do what he says.
So the next person I hear who steals a laptop or a cell phone, this play-by-play is gonna be the first thing I think of.
So there was an actress by the name of Kelly Mack who was on The Walking Dead. Yeah, and I actually knew her. I actually met her years ago.
You did tell me that.
And she dies on August 2nd at the age of 33. Is that number? 3 days later, August 5th, Martha Nolan, an Irish bikini designer. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so she dies on a yacht.
Okay.
Okay, and she was with, I guess, the boat owner. It's very mysterious. They said the toxicology report isn't in yet, and they're trying to see if it was drugs. They're alluding to it may have been drugs, foul play. They don't know yet. And it was weird because the guy who was on, owns the boat, he actually was running out to try to get help, and he was naked.
Wait, what?
Keeps going.
Fuck you mean?
Hold on. Keeps going. So then, August 8th, then this happens. The CDC thing happens. So get this. All these things happen, right? And then mind you, the CDC shooting, there was an officer by the name of David Rose. He was in a line of fire. He gets killed. Now here's how all this links up. All 3 people who died, they're all at the age of 33.
Is that age?
But gets even weirder.
Break it down.
So all this happens in the same week, right?
Right.
And this is where I start to put the patterns together. So you have August 2nd, August 5th, and August 8th.
Okay.
What's the difference between 2, 5, and 8?
The difference between 2, 5, and 8.
Yes, number-wise. Think about it.
2, 5, and 8.
They're all 3 apart. 33.
The coincidence specialist is back at it again.
I'm just saying. Like, think about
That's
it. Okay.
wild.
Isn't that crazy, though?
In gematria, the number 33 has high significance, but I'm not quite sure if all 3 incidents are related.
God, this might be the wildest punishment in America right now. But I love it. This Louisiana man right here, which happens to be a pedophile, has just agreed to surgically be castrated. And he's still gonna have to go to prison. I'm loving it. Don't y'all? We need more people to get castrated if they wanna be pedophiles. Am I wrong? Other states need to learn from Louisiana because they say Louisiana is one of the only states that do this. Not only is this man doing prison time, once he get out, he will not be able to do the same shit he did to get in there. Being a pedophile. They was like, you want to be a nasty person, right? We gonna cut off the source. How you gonna do it now? The craziest thing to me is you got some people online saying they're going too far. And I'm like, how are they going too far? Are you one of the people just like him? How can you say they're going too far to do that to this man that touched kids? And then you got other people, folks like me, saying, nah, everyone that does this need to be castrated. So what side are y'all on? Are you agreeing with me or the other people? If you agreeing with me, drop a 1. If you agreeing with the other people, drop a 2. And I'm gonna look at you like, do y'all think other states should adopt this same thinking, this same way of cutting off the source? Because I do. I don't have no problem with it. If you like this video, if you feel like it was informative, make sure you like that video and share this because it's probably P-Files watching this and y'all need to know y'all gonna get.
I think that law should be passed throughout the United States. Weirdos are gonna think twice about it.
Ooh, I tried to tell you that in the 1800s, anybody that spoke about the reset was instantly silenced and put in a mental asylum. And you didn't believe me. But when I say I got your ass, oh, I've got your ass. So in the 1800s, the number of asylums grew significantly as the mental health movement gained momentum. So much so that by the 19th century, there was over 150 public hospitals in America. And that ain't to mention the private ones. In 1775, there was about 71 hospitals. And then 5 years later, that tally rises to 139. And by the end of the century, there was more than one public mental hospital in every state. So anyone that didn't play along with the reset or tried to speak about the old world or didn't follow the new script was instantly silenced, called mad, and put in a mental asylum home. And today, it's no different. If you're in tune with your spiritual gifts, or you practice them openly, or even if you just talk too much truth, believe me, there'll be somebody quick to come along and tell you it's all in your head and what you're seeing isn't real. But the eyes are useless when the mind is blind. Just ask yourself, why and how could somebody build so many asylums in such a short period of time? I mean, these weren't no small buildings. Look at the size of this. We're talking megalithic structures, brother. Or just to be abandoned in a short period of time. Just look at this. Philadelphia State Hospital at Byberry. Founded 1907. Opened in 1907. So you trying to tell me these men opened up the hospital in the same year that they built it? Oh, you son of a ballbag. These buildings are from the old world, the previous civilization, before the reset. All they did was rename it and repurpose it.
That's why you hear rock stars sometimes say, I sold my soul to the devil. Because once you make that trade, he'll give you what you want. But people need to understand that the devil is not sharing his kingdom with anyone. He's selfish and hateful, and his personality is that of hate and violence.
So this guy made a video about putting his phone on airplane mode in December of 2014 or something like that. And then he finally took it off airplane mode this year or a couple years ago, and he compared it to the current time period that we're in now, and this is what happened. So apparently, the phone that was on airplane mode since I think 2014, that phone was back in 2021 or 2023. I'm sorry, that phone. So we're in 2024. The phone was dated back to 2023, meaning time has actually sped up. That's what I've been saying. I've made several videos about how it does not feel right. It feels like the time has sped up. The time clock has been moving. It seems like how Jesus said it is the last hour. It seems like we are in the seconds, and it's looking like somebody's fast forwarding time from the outside of us so we can't really see it. If you fast forward a movie, the people playing the movie can't feel the fact that they're being fast forwarded, but they are. In the same way, the creator can fast forward time where we can't feel it moving faster. But this whole thing, whether you want to think it's real or fake, this whole thing is kind of crazy because that means that we have lost over a year of time because of how fast it's, and think about that. A year is a long time.
That probably explains why my digital watches do not keep the same time as my iPhone, and doesn't matter how many times I align them, but That's it for the video. Thanks for kicking it with me, but before you leave, hit the like button and sub up. Also, let me know what you think about any of those clips in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.